A very good evening and welcome to yet another edition tonight of Times Exclusive. I'm your host, Brian Banda. Glad you could make some time to watch Times Television tonight. This is Times Exclusive, airing on Times Network. The program tonight is coming to you courtesy of Rainbow Paints.
Looks amazing on that wall.
The electric blue cuts it for me.
Come on. Look at the tango, candy pink, bent orange, okay, sweet lime.
Do you like what you see? You can dream it and live it. Download your Rainbow app today and begin the magic of transforming your home into a fabulous space. Rainbow Paints. Peace of mind. Part of the deal.
And my guest tonight is Malawi's celebrated musician, Patience Namadingo. Patience Namadingo, thank you very much for joining us tonight in Times Exclusive.
Good to be here.
We are meeting at a time where you are traveling all over the world. You have just come back from United States of America. How different was this trip compared to the one you had 3 months ago? And why all of a sudden you are traveling this much?
Well, thank you, Brian. I was in America 3 months before the trip that I just returned from.
Yeah.
And on that trip, I was playing music. As you know, I'm a musician. I was booked for a number of gigs. I performed in about 6, if not 7 states. And I experienced America in a different way on that trip. Remember, I was on stage always.
Yeah.
It means if the booking said I was supposed to be in Texas, I'm supposed to be in Texas.
Yeah.
If I'm supposed to be there for 2-3 days, I cannot extend my stay because then it will collide with the other programs that I'm supposed to report in the next week. So after seeing America in that trip, I thought, why don't I make sure that I return here and probably learn? Because a lot of things that happen in America happen in a very different way. A lot of things are advanced, both in my sphere as a musician and beyond music. So I thought, well, I've got the possibility that I can return. The resources are there. Why don't I return?
So how significant was this trip?
Well, this trip has really taught me a lot. I have gotten exposed. I stayed there for about 5 weeks. That's a month and a week. So being all over America for a month and a week, you can imagine to say the experience was great. I had chances to attend big concerts. Madonna was playing, and Madonna is a very big star all over the world. And sitting there in an arena that has about 60,000 people in one place, it's gigantic. It was quite a learning curve for me how they do the sound, the management. It's quite different with what we do back here at home.
So you went back to United States of America
To learn.
just to learn?
Just to learn.
Okay.
Exactly.
Where are you getting the money to fly all over the world?
Well, God has been good to me. My career has exposed me to quite some good numbers as far as finances are concerned. And I've got a very good team as well as very good well-wishers. It's not that everywhere we're going, we're spending our own money all the time. Sometimes people will extend an olive branch, say, hey, come here and experience what's happening here. We've met quite amazing Malawians abroad, those in diaspora, that have helped us quite a lot in doing certain things.
So have you learned new things?
Of course.
What have you learned?
Well, I've learned, as far as management is concerned,
Yeah.
I have learned about management, music production, things like those. So it's quite a lot of things that I've learned. And just traveling, Brian, exposes you to a lot of things. I might have planned on this trip to say, I'll learn about music production. I'll learn about music as a business.
Yeah.
I'll learn about branding. But on this trip, I got exposed to different things. I mean, I've been to places where I never thought I would go to, you know? So learning has quite been a broad thing for me.
So which states did you visit?
Well, I visited a lot of states. I landed in Seattle, Washington. That's the state of Washington. I was in Chicago, which is the state of Illinois. I was in Oregon. That's the state of Portland. Actually, Portland, that's the state of Oregon. And from there, I was in New York. From New York, I was in Los Angeles, California. So I was pretty much going up and down. I really had fun. I've seen America, a lot of places in America.
So are we doing the right things in Malawi, or we have a long way to go?
Well, most certainly,
based on what you have seen in America.
Most certainly, we have quite a long way to go. We might pioneer great things. Like as for myself, what I've learned, I'll lay a foundation. It'll be groundbreaking. So we really have a long way to go, quite a long way to go.
Talking about music,
yes,
Namadingo, are you playing secular music or gospel music? What kind of music are you playing?
Well, I would like to identify myself as a conscious artist or a moral artist. I sing what I know will impact people in a positive way. Be it religion, I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
So if I want to write songs about God, obviously I'll write about God. I've written songs about God. And sometimes I'll write about love. Love is the biggest topic in the world.
Yeah.
And the Bible commissions us to spread love.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I talk about love.
You want to answer my question? My question is, what kind of a musician are you? Because we thought that Patience Namadingo is a gospel artist.
No, you did not think. I actually introduced myself in the industry as a gospel musician.
Okay.
As a full-time
So have you moved from that?
I have moved, not necessarily moved. I would have said probably I've trimmed down my content to 50% of gospel and 50% of other stuff that's going on in the world. Because I believe, we're not just passing through here. We were sent here for a reason, to impact each other positively. So as much as we Christians say we're going to heaven, but we must also bear in mind that we live here. So issues that happen here need to be addressed. You talk about issues of love. I have got a big song titled Mori. I wrote this song because there was a lot of young men who were committing suicide because of issues to do with love. We had stories where people were killing themselves over issues of heartbreak. And that inspired me to write a song that has a positive message towards the last verse, the choruses, which says, everything comes to an end. That's not gospel, but they needed that song.
So how should I introduce you? Are you a gospel artist? You used to be a gospel artist? You're doing 50% of gospel music? Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Well, let's not dwell on that.
I want to dwell on that.
You want to dwell on that?
Yeah, I want to dwell on that.
Well, if you want to introduce me, say a musician. I'm a musician. I write music.
So you're running away from gospel music?
I'm not running away. One of my best songs that I've written in the past 2 years is titled Wazgolenge. It's a beautiful gospel piece. I wrote it at the same time when I was thinking of writing Mori. So they came like back to back. When I released Wazgolenge, later on I released Mori. These are quite positive songs.
So what has necessitated you moving from gospel to, what are you calling yourself now?
A conscious artist.
Conscious artist.
Yes.
What has necessitated this move?
Well, as I told you, Brian, I want to positively impact lives down here. When it comes to religion, we are not the only ones on earth, Christians. We've got Muslims, we've got Hindus. All these people listen to my music. And when it comes to issues that cut across that are not just religious issues, you talk about, I just gave you an example of a song that was directed to people who were passing through heartbreaks. Yeah. And some of them were going to the extent of committing suicide. That's not religion. That's life. And I want to also write such kind of things and impact such kind of lives as well.
So what about those who loved you, who embraced you because you were singing gospel music? How should they look at you now?
Well, it's not about how they should look at me. I believe I've set the ball rolling. It's out there. It doesn't matter how someone wants to look at it. If you look at me when I write gospel music, they're quite beautiful pieces.
Yeah.
And when I write music that has nothing to do with religion, I also love that music, quite beautiful music. One of the biggest songs I've written is Maplani. This is a song that people celebrate during weddings. I mean, even if it's a pastor getting married, they use that music.
Yeah.
It's quite beautiful.
Are you a born-again Christian?
I don't think of myself that way anymore.
You don't think
Of myself that
of
way
yourself that
anymore.
way anymore? That's a loaded answer.
Yeah.
Do you want to define that?
I don't really want to define that, but I believe in God and God being one as the Almighty. That's my belief.
It looks like you have shifted away from so many things.
Exactly.
What's going on with you, Namadingo?
Well, I guess I'm growing. I mean, when everybody grows, there are different changes that take place in your life.
Yeah.
And it's evident enough that I am growing. I'm no longer the same patience that people knew in
You
2010.
are now handling lots of money. And can I be allowed to say probably money has changed your perspective of life,
No, money doesn't.
including not calling yourself a gospel musician?
Well, when I look at money, I don't think money changes people. It amplifies.
Looks like it has changed you, Mr. Namadingo.
No, probably it has amplified me.
Money has amplified.
Let's
you.
use the word amplified as
Okay.
opposed to change.
Okay.
I haven't changed. I'm the same person.
You're no longer, you don't want to be called a gospel musician.
Not that I don't want to be called.
You love people call you a conscious artist.
Well, if you want to call me a gospel musician, if you see me as such, then sure.
If I see you as such,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
If you listen to my song, if
Yeah.
I just really, actually, my most recent song came out 3 days ago.
Yeah.
It's a gospel song. So if you want to identify me as a gospel musician, that's not a crime, and that's not an offense either to me.
But you can say on a national television that money has amplified your life.
It has. It sure has.
Meaning what?
You know what the word amplified means.
Yes.
Exactly. It
But
has
the word is coming
amplified.
from you. So I would want to understand what amplifying means in this regard.
Well, there's so many things that I was not going to be able to do if I did not have the money. To start with, like we're just talking about going to America to learn, that takes a lot of money.
Yeah.
It has been an amplification because probably I had money enough to move from Blantyre to Lusaka. But now, if I've got more money, it's going to be amplified. I will go to New York.
And people are worried that you're showing too much.
Okay.
Is that deliberate?
Showing too much of.
Flying in business class or first class, as people call it, traveling all. Others are finding that to be too much. How are you looking at it?
Well, I don't know why one would be offended if they saw somebody flying first class. I mean, what's the offense if you're flying first class? They have built that space for people to fly there. And I'm flying there. I actually love being there. It should,
First class.
It should, oh yes.
Yeah.
It should actually motivate and inspire others. It should not intimidate anyone.
But there are others who believe that you are sharing too much information on social media.
Like which information? Flying,
That's what
flying business class?
People would take offense with that to say, why is he showing us these things?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a celebrity. I'm sure, Mr. Brian, you've got, let's say, DSTV at home, and you watch channels like Trace. People show their houses, people show their cars, people show their chins, people show their vacations. Actually, people build shows surrounding their whole life in real time. Talk about the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Celebrities will show you where they are, what they're eating, where they're sleeping. I mean, in Malawi, we tone it down. You don't know where I sleep. How does it look?
Yeah.
I would have loved to show you. It's a very beautiful place, actually. So when it comes
where you live.
where I live.
Okay.
But I don't take people there because my family is there. So I cannot take people into my personal space.
Okay.
But in the first class, that's not my personal space. I would love my fans to see that, to see what my career is doing and probably inspire someone. We've got musicians here who've been flying to America, or they will fly to England next month or whenever. When they see such kind of things, they actually get inspired. How did he get there? The question is, how does he do this?
Yeah.
It's just music. It should inspire people. Actually, Malawians should be happy that one of us is experiencing that kind of life, as opposed to getting offended. Why would I be offended by success?
So you are successful.
I've been successful.
Let's talk about your previous visit to the United States of America, where you were holding shows. A major issue broke out during your stay in the United States of America. The late Omega Nankuni, may her soul continue resting in peace. What happened? Your name was associated to the circumstances that happened leading to her death. Did you know anything about the death of Omega Nankuni?
Well, death is a very sensitive issue.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's left loved ones behind. And as we discuss about what happened, that's a broad question. I would love you to narrow it down.
There are issues associated with money.
Okay.
That she had borrowed lots of money. Can you also confirm that Omega Nankuni hired you to go and play music in the United States of America?
Well,
and how much did you receive from the late Omega Nankuni?
Well, I'll tell you this, Brian. Going to America to perform was not the only place where we've performed or where we've been hired before. I will continue referring to myself as we, because we work as a team. There's always a management team. And maybe you might appreciate, how do we get to a place to perform?
Yeah.
First of all, a client is going to make a call, not directly to me, to my management team, which is headed by a manager. And when you make that call, you're going to request for a quotation, just like in any other business. When you request for a quotation, we give you the quotation. When you accept the quotation, then we will issue a contract. We do not travel without a legally binded contract between us and the client. And Omega was not an exception. The late Omega Nankuni, may her soul rest in peace, she did make those contracts. She did get a quotation. After getting a quotation, she also got a contract. And in the contract is where you say, this is when you pay your deposit, which is about 50%. And this is when you will finish the other 50%. This is where we would like to stay. This is what we would like to eat. This is how we would like to travel. And if you agree with the contract, you sign in that contract. And there's nothing that will happen between you and us beyond the contract. We're guided by the contract. Therefore, for us to go to America, definitely there was this contract. There was a standard fee that you pay as a performance fee, and there was nothing more than that. Whether Omega got that money from somebody else to run her business, which were the two shows. Actually, she was just managing two shows, one in the state of Indianapolis, in the city of Indianapolis as well, and one in the state of Indianapolis, but in South Bend, two shows. But mind you, I played in more than 6-7 shows. And the other shows were also managed by the people who organized themselves in those respective states. So Omega had nothing to do with any other show other than these two shows. So the source of where she got the money to do the two shows, I would not be in the right position to say she got the money from this place or that place. We don't know where our clients get the money to hire us.
Did you have any other business apart from the contractual obligations that you had between yourself and the late Omega Nankuni?
Not at all.
Was there anything else that you were doing apart from music?
The answer is as simple as no.
But we hear that she had lots and lots of debt. Where was she taking the money to?
Exactly how, I just raised the point not long ago, which says the source of Omega's money has nothing to do with me. If you bought a car from Toyota Malawi, the source of where you got your money has nothing to do with them. So if tomorrow they say Brian is in debt after buying a Toyota Prado, should you go and ask Toyota Malawi, where is Brian going with that money? I would not be the best person to comment where Omega put the money.
How much money did you receive from the late Omega Nankuni?
Now, that's private information. Come on. You don't tell people how much money Times pays you, do you? and you wouldn't even tell people anyway.
Did you overcharge her?
No.
How much does it cost for me to play at a concert or to hire you as a musician?
That's what now you're going to know when you contact the management team. You're going to discuss. I mean, we look at where are we playing? To how many people are we playing? How many people are playing on the stage? In the contract, there's so many things like what we call a technical rider, which tells you...
A technical
rider.
Rider?
Yes.
Okay.
A technical rider is what guides you. What is this musician going to use in terms of the speakers? What are the specs? We've got things like mixers. We've got things like the back line of the house, which are drums, guitars. What sort of equipment is this person going to use? It's in the contract. And then we've got what we call a hospitality rider. Where does this person sleep? I mean, if we are going to, for example, if we're going to hire Chris Brown to come to Malawi or Beyonce, she's going to give you a contract which has both of these things that I'm talking about, a technical rider and a hospitality rider. If she tells you she sleeps in a 5-star hotel and you don't have one here, probably she might settle to be in Zambia and just fly here on the day of the show. That happens.
So I'm told that you have gone as far as identifying the kind of drinks that you should drink, the kind of water that you should drink. Have you reached that level, Namadingo?
Yes, I have.
You have reached that level?
Yes.
Why?
Why will I not reach that level? I should ask you. You think I shouldn't reach that level? I mean, let's talk about the cream of Malawian music.
Yeah.
If you talk about the top 10 musicians in Malawi, I am in that group. Probably even if you talked about the top 5, I'll be found in there. So you tell me, are you happy that Malawi's top 10 musicians would get to be treated this way in America, in Zambia, in Mozambique? Or you would ask them to say, have you reached that level? When do you think we're going to reach that level? You tell me.
No, that's what I was actually surprised to say when you went to America, you did not want to stay in someone's house. You preferred to stay in a hotel.
I did not prefer. It's in my contract that I stay in a hotel. That's not preference.
So the contract defines where you should stay.
Exactly.
Now, when the late Omega Nankhuni, there are also concerns that you did not give any condolences. And this is a person who had booked you, fly you to United States of America, pay you for 2 shows, and there was no any kind of remorse, for lack of a better word, from you. That's why people are asking that, is there anything else you know that we don't know about the late Omega Nankhuni?
Well, Brian, I don't know the source of your information. It's very important to have trusted sources.
Yeah.
After the demise of the late Nankhuni, we issued a public post that talked about her and how we felt. That's on our social media outlets. A post on Facebook.
Not a live video.
No.
You would have done a live video.
But now let me tell you this, Brian. As I told you to say, death is something serious. It does not just concern the person who's passed.
Yeah.
There are people behind. I don't think death is a platform where people should do live videos and explain what happened. Oh, this is what I know. You should let the family grieve in peace. And that's what I chose to do. I did not want to mingle myself in that and try to explain, oh, this is what I know. This is how you book me. This is what I need. I don't think that's important. And I think I would also advise us here in this program to maybe let it be. This is an issue to do with families, to do with the dead. Let them rest in peace. And, you know.
I wanted to raise it because it attracted a lot of public attention. The 2 most important questions that I wanted to raise about the late Omega. Number 1 is, you agree with me that she indeed booked you and that you got some money from the late...
I got paid, not got some money. Yeah. That's correct.
Okay. So you got paid by the late Omega Nankhuni.
I get paid by everybody who books me. Even you, if you booked me tomorrow, you pay me. It's as simple as that.
And the second question, which I wanted to confirm, is whether you had any other business beside music, which you have said no. So we'll let it go.
Thank you.
Can we move on?
Please.
You used to be very close with Ty Green. You know Ty Green.
I know Tay Green.
Very close. You were traveling together, Ghana, Uganda, Botswana. And you seem not to be very close these days. What happened?
Well, the word, you just said it. You said we seem, which means that's not a fact. It's an assumption. So Tay Green is a very good friend. And Tay Green has been traveling. I've seen him in Zambia. I got him to Zambia, actually, and did a media tour for him.
It's you who took Ty Green to Zambia.
Prior to this trip. Tay Green has been in Zambia twice because of me. I took him there, did a media tour for him.
Yeah.
As part of my efforts of introducing my friends into the Zambian music industry. Yeah. And that was the first time. The second time, you might also remember that during my concert in Lusaka, Tay Green was the only supporting artist that I got from Malawi into Lusaka. And I was in the US, Tay Green was in Zambia. I don't know how you would make a plan to be singers together.
You were traveling together. Even in Malawi, you were very close. That's why we are noticing these changes.
Oh, Tay Green, when Tay Green brought Mutale Mwanza just about 2 months ago at Amaryllis Hotel, I was the one performing there.
I'm not talking about performing.
He didn't pay me.
Sorry?
Remember just recently I told you if you book me, you pay me? Yeah, but imagine I go there and perform for free. It means you're my friend, right?
So you performed for free?
Oh, yeah. You can ask him. He's going to confirm that. Okay. He's a very good friend of mine, but let's agree that now everybody is a little bit busy. I mean, right now I know where Tay Green is. That makes him my friend. I know Tay Green is in Lilongwe as we're doing this interview. He's a good friend of mine.
But you agree with me that you're not as close as you used to be?
Well, we're not seen together as we used to.
What has happened?
We've been traveling, man. I was in America like in between 3 months. Like I've been in America this year.
Yeah.
If we put the time together, I've been in America for about 3 months already. And where has Tay Green been? He's been in Zambia. When I am here, if I'm in Zambia, Tay Green is in Malawi. So we do talk. He's a good friend, Brian.
Would you consider him as your best friend?
No.
Do you want to answer that question once again?
No.
Why?
Best friends? I don't think I have best friends. I think I used to have that when I was a little kid. Do you have a best friend, Brian?
I've got friends.
Then you and me are the same. You have friends, I have friends. You don't have best friends. I don't have best friends either.
So he's not your best friend?
Just like you, I don't have one.
The Gandhi charity, you remember you stood at the roundabout.
Yes.
There was also a lot of controversy surrounding the proceeds.
No. You're mixing two stories. That the Gandhi charity, that was us raising money towards a cancer patient who went to Zambia.
Yes, I remember.
Yes, but now the story you're talking about is the Queen's charity.
Yes.
Which are two different stories.
I agree.
Sure.
So the Gandhi charity was to help someone who was fighting cancer.
His name was Mr. William Kachigamba.
But I'm particularly interested in the funds that you raised
for Queens. There was also a lot of controversy with that. Mm-hmm. What happened with that money? And how much did you raise? Well, when we did that project, we raised 15 million Malawi kwacha.
Yeah.
It was a personal project. I wanted to buy assorted items and donate them to the Queen's Children's Cancer Ward, which happens to be the only children's cancer ward in the entire nation.
Yeah.
And I engaged the hospital before I started raising the funds. And I told them, and my budget was just 1.2 million, not 15 million. And when I raised this money, when I consulted the hospital about my process to raise this money, I was going to work for it. It was not just send me the money. So what I did was between the two cities, Lilongwe and Blantyre, I would come to your house, play for you and your family, and you were only supposed to pay me 4,000 kwacha per person per song. So if I'm playing for you and your wife, it means you're paying me 8,000 per song. If you want me to do another song, it's another 8,000. And my target was just to raise 40,000 a day. Okay. If you multiply that number, 40,000 times 40 days, you come to 1.2 million. So I started this initiative. It was just me and my manager then, Peter Mazunda. We did it for 3 days and we had more than 4 million. And companies started joining in, and most of them were doing pledges and symbolic presentations, of course, of dummy checks. And when news reached the hospital that the money was just accumulating, because Remember, I went to them and told them what I wanted to do. And it was just 1.2 million.
Yeah.
So it was not a serious issue for them. So they let me go and do whatever and buy whatever I want and bring to the hospital. But when the money came to 15 million and I announced, because I was giving a public report,
Yeah.
the hospital demanded that I should give them the money and not do what I wanted to do initially.
Yeah.
So we had a misunderstanding. Actually, on the final day of the handover ceremony, they almost refused us to do the handover ceremony at the hospital, on the hospital grounds, on the basis that they wanted the money. So we had a meeting on the final hour, and we agreed that I was not going to give them the money, but they had explained why they wanted the money, because the question was, why do you want the money?
Yeah.
And their answer was that they wanted to build an IC unit, intensive care unit of the same children's cancer ward. So I thought to myself, well, if I spend this 15 million buying sugar, buying rice and ufa, I mean, these things eventually zita.
Yeah.
So what I thought of doing was, let me just get the 1.2 million that I initially planned for and buy those things. And then the remaining sum, I should work with them to build what they wanted to build.
Yeah.
But I had told them it was on one condition. And the condition was I should be part of the project. I didn't want to just hand over this hard-earned money. I had worked for this money.
Yeah.
I was the one singing and traveling in between Long and Blantyre. So I did not want to just hand over this money to someone who just says, I've got a better idea. And then they agreed at that time. After the handover ceremony, we went and purchased goods worth 1.2 million and made the donation that I wanted to make initially.
Yeah.
Then I returned now for another meeting to say, okay, so what do we need? If you need cement, you tell me. We need cement. Let's say we're buying from Lafarge. And Lafarge says, okay, this is worth 5 million. I will issue that 5 million to Lafarge, and Lafarge brings the cement. But I would also want to be part of the project in the sense that I should be supervising how my money is going.
Yeah.
If my money is done, I don't want to supervise anything after that. I can go home. And there we also had a misunderstanding because they literally wanted the money.
They didn't want you to do it.
Nah, they did not want me to handle this. So I said, I cannot do this. And bear in mind, we had big players on this donation, companies like TNM, organizations like the Malawi Law Society. These are credible organizations. So I did not collect that money from them. I had told them to say there are projects that the hospital wants to do with this money. So actually what we should do is if we want to buy something, let's just ask TNM to pay straight to who is the supplier.
Yeah.
Now, after a series of meetings, just to cut the story short, we were not getting to a point where we agree that this is the way
they wanted the money.
They just wanted the money.
And I'm told they reported you to fiscal police.
Yes, they did.
Why?
Well, when they came out, it was actually Times that published the article.
Yes.
I was in the front of your paper that asked, where's the 15 million for the cancer building project? And fast forward, I responded through social media. When I responded through social media, there were mixed reactions because people thought, well, maybe the hospital wanted to eat the money. And there were quite some, people were saying a lot of things about the hospital. And the hospital found it not to be fair that they were dented.
Yeah.
The same way I was dented by the report that was in the news. So the next move for the hospital was to report me to fiscal police. And I got a call. I was at the airport. I got a call from the police. And they called me there because they had been, they were conducting an investigation. Yeah. By the time they called me, they were already deep in the investigation. So they did the investigation without telling me we're investigating you. Okay. Yeah, so they investigated me for a good probably 5 months. Okay. They had visited everybody. I mean, remember I was on social media saying who gave the money, how it happened. So they took that information and the information the hospital had given them, and they went ahead and conducted the investigation. So literally the police went to TNM, the police went to Malawi Law Society. They went everywhere. Yeah. By the time they were calling me, I was the last person to be questioned. So I canceled my trip. I went to fiscal police. I sat with the police. And I also appreciated how police work is done because we see it in movies. I literally they had files on me with pictures and everything that I was posting on social media. They had all that. Yeah. So they asked me quite a few questions. I stayed there for quite some time, probably 3 hours. Okay. Yeah, we can say this was an interrogation. So we talked there and they compared with the notes that they had in their files. And they released me. And they said we're still conducting the investigation. We'll be calling.
Has the investigation finished?
Well, it ended a long time ago.
Did they clear you?
They cleared me. And when the police clear you, they give you documentation.
Yeah.
And I think they also have their PR office or officer who you can be, I mean, you're free to contact them and ask, but they cleared me.
So where's the 15 million as we speak right now?
Well, as it sits right now,
yeah,
those who made pledges are still sitting with their pledges.
Okay.
And we also had a lot of things that were in the form of not necessarily money.
Yeah.
If, like, for example, there was a pharmaceutical company that just said, okay, you know what, we're dealing with a hospital here. They need Pampers. We're going to give Pampers worth 2 million.
Okay.
And they had handled over those things.
So you didn't have 15 million cash?
No, I did not have it in cash.
Okay. So what about the extra cash? Because you had raised for 1.2 million, but you got probably more than that.
Yes.
My question is where?
We also had less than 3 million in cash.
Okay.
Which we submitted. I mean, because these people, I would have not handed just 3 million and then let the other go.
Yeah.
So what I did was when the police called me, I told them, I said, look here, we're talking of just 3 million with me and then the rest with companies and organizations.
Yeah.
So I told them to say, if you want to put everything together, probably maybe you can help me collect the other money from the other organizations. But you're talking of the money, whatever I was keeping, here's what I was keeping. And then here is what's remaining with these people.
So you gave them the 3 million?
Yes.
You gave them to the police?
To the police, yeah.
Okay, so they have the 3 million?
Yes.
Okay, we'll take a short break, Namadingo. When we come back, we'll talk about you drinking beer.
No, I don't drink beer. I drink.
No.
I drink alcohol.
We'll talk about that when we return. We'll also talk about the PhD.
Okay.
That you received from UNESA.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Yes.
Let's take a short break.
Let's do that.
We'll be back with you in a moment. In case you're just joining us, this is Times Exclusive, airing on Times Network. I'm joined by Dr. Patience Namadingo, Malawi's celebrated musician. The program is coming to you tonight, courtesy of Rainbow Paints.
Wow. I think K-Pitch looks amazing on that wall.
The electric blue cuts it for me.
Come on. Look at the tango, candy pink, bent orange. Okay, sweet lime.
Do you like what you see? You can dream it and live it. Download your Rainbow app today and begin the magic of transforming your home into a fabulous space. Rainbow Paints. Peace of mind. Part of the deal.
Welcome back. This is Times Exclusive, airing on Times Television. And I'm Brian Banda. Tonight I'm joined by Dr. Patience Namadingo, Malawi's successful. Can I say that?
Correct.
You are Malawi's successful?
That's true.
It looks like all of a sudden you have yielded a lot of success. Where is this success coming from?
A lot of success.
Lot of success, yes.
Well, Brian, I agree with you that I have been successful. A lot of success, that's another thing, but I have indeed been successful. You might wish to know, I come from the lowest possible socioeconomic background one can possibly think of. It is only by the grace of God and His mercy that I have managed to come to this height in my career.
Yeah.
Where I come from, the poverty was unspeakable. And when you look at that, it serves as a constant reminder that I should never return there.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back there where I came from. In fact, if a lot of people knew where I came from, they would not even wish or want me to fail in whatever I do. So that serves as a constant reminder for me that I need to work hard, of which I have indeed worked hard, so hard, for me to get to this level. It has not been child's play. It's been work hard, work hard, work hard. And I've managed to get here. But remember, it has been so because God has accepted it to be so.
Many, many years ago, a picture circulated on social media that you are engaged to Miss Rice.
Correct.
And people are still commenting on that picture. It's on our online page.
Correct.
Where are we on your engagement?
When you say where are we, where are you guys, or where is me in my engagement?
You can answer however
Because you said, where are we? As though you're engaged to us. Well, Brian, if you remember, my engagement, the circumstances surrounding my engagement, we would have loved it to be a private thing. And then boom, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
That was a learning curve for me. That if you want to run a successful family, or whatever it is out there that people are running in terms of business, whatever, don't involve people. Don't let people be in there. Okay. You might remember that my Miss Rice was quite bullied online after the engagement.
Okay.
People said a lot of nasty things to her.
Okay.
And she's not a celebrity. I am. After that, I learned that privacy is power.
Okay.
Keep people out of your business if it's personal.
Okay.
So therefore, when you ask me the question, where are we with our engagement? Anything that concerns my family is private. Did
you go ahead and marry Miss Rice?
So I am saying.
Yes or no?
Wait, Brian, this is not an interrogation.
Okay.
It's an interview.
Okay.
So when you ask me, you want me to respond.
Yeah.
So let me respond.
Yeah.
The most important family you're building is not the family you're coming from, is the one you're in now. I know you're married, but we know nothing about your family.
Yeah.
You've decided to keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'll humbly ask you, let's keep my private life, which is my family, out of this interview. That is very important.
I respect that.
Please.
Can you confirm that there was now a child after that engagement?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yes, we have a very beautiful daughter.
What's her name?
Well, you seem to insist and you're persistent about getting all private information, but her name is Patience II.
A girl?
Yes.
Okay. I will respect your right to privacy.
It's important.
And
so.
I will choose to move on.
Please.
Let's talk about how well do you know Malawi? You have traveled. You went as far as France, Canada, America. Where is our problem as a people? What is wrong with this country compared to what you have seen outside there?
Well, thank you. I think the key word for me is compare. I know Malawi from inside because I was born here, raised here. But I'll tell you that Malawi, I was just reading a report by the World Bank that was published in April 2023 that ranked us number 4 in the poorest list of poorest countries in the world.
Yeah.
We were number 4.
Yeah.
And they continue to explain that 61.7% of our population is multidimensionally poor. Multidimensional poverty, you're talking about money poverty, education is bad. You're talking about basic infrastructure is not there. So when you look at this, now I'll come and attach it to the word compare.
Yeah.
Let me talk about a small Asian country, Singapore.
Yeah.
Singapore is big in terms of land. They're sitting on about 734 square kilometers of land in Singapore.
Yeah.
And their population is 5 million. We are sitting on 118,484 square kilometers of land, and our population is 19 million.
Yeah.
And 118,000, 24,000 square kilometers is already taken up by water.
Yeah.
Now, Singapore and Malawi, you might say Malawi is landlocked because that's the story we like singing. We're landlocked. Probably that's why we're not developing.
Yeah.
Singapore is almost an island. It's in an area where organized crime is very high. Now, when you look at Singapore, they got their independence in 1965. We got our independence in 1964.
Yeah.
They were as poor as Ghana at that time.
Yeah.
But right now, Singapore is rated 5th least corrupt country in the world.
Yeah.
And you might also wish to know, Singapore is devoid of natural resources. Malawi is not.
Yeah.
Malawi has natural resources. We're talking about minerals. We've got sulfur. We've got uranium.
Yeah.
We've got quite a number.
Gold now.
Exactly.
We just discovered gold. Yeah.
Gold.
Yeah.
Now, Singapore doesn't have all that, but they're a very rich nation. What did they do that we did not do? Because we should have been better than them.
Yeah.
Now, when you read the Singapore history, you will see that their first leader, who is they consider as the real founding father of Singapore,
Yeah.
Lee Kuan Yew, that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
This guy realized that the only resource they had was the people.
Okay.
So they strived to train the people in excellency of education.
Mm.
And that's what has made them rich. Now, come back here at home. You might also wish to know the stats here at home. 50% of our people do not finish primary school.
Mm.
65% of our people drop out during junior secondary school.
Mm.
And 87, not below 80, 87% of our people do not finish senior secondary education. We don't have a trained nation.
Yeah.
We have the resources, people are not trained. I honestly feel like if people in Malawi were trained,
Yeah.
now that's the first thing.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem. People are not trained.
Yeah.
Now we're always going to be singing songs about bad leadership. But have you ever considered that you might also maybe experience a good leader leading the wrong people? It can happen.
That's deep. Yeah.
Exactly. It can happen. I mean, I have seen people talk about how great Kamuzu Banda was, and somebody says, I think immediately after Kamuzu, we should have had Bingu,
Yeah.
which means probably Bingu was the right leader, but was he leading the right people?
Yeah.
That's a question
Yeah.
one should think about.
Yeah.
So when I look at Malawi and see what's our problem, I think the problem is we have large numbers of people that are not trained.
Yeah.
People
You're
are not
running away
trained.
from the word educated deliberately.
Well, not necessarily running away from the word educated, but that's the right word. Because when you look up the word educated in the dictionary,
Yeah.
it means enlightenment.
Yeah.
A lot of our people are not
Enlightened.
enlightened.
Let's move on. University of South Africa.
Yes.
They said they didn't give you an honorary degree. You, Monsieur Karim, and Mr. Pempero Mpande. Where did you get your PhD?
Thank you. I was contacted by a professor who legitimately works for UNISA. I got the call. She introduced herself as Professor Martha Malope.
Martha Malope.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This woman told me that I was nominated for an honorary doctorate degree at University of South Africa. At the time I got this call, I had done a lot of charity works in Malawi. I was worthy of being honored, not just in South Africa, even here in Malawi. I have done a lot of charity works here. I don't want to start listing them. We were just talking about the children's cancer ward.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Mr. William Kashigamba. In Ngabu, I helped roof an orphanage hall there. In Salima, we initiated a project where we were building a house for a woman who had stunted kids, if you remember. She was all over the news.
Yeah.
I and Mansour Karim traveled there and picked her and put her in a rehabilitation center. We thank God she got well. After that, Mansour Karim and I were all over in Malawi. We collected ambulances in this country that were dead. In Nsanje, in Chikwawa, in Mwanza. We fixed those cars with a lot of money, with a lot of efforts. And now imagine at this time, somebody calls you and tells you, we want to honor you. How would you doubt that? The president is the one that got us down from the Mahatma Gandhi Road when we were raising funds for Mr. Kajigamba. This was happening at that time. There was no way I was going to doubt someone wants to honor me. And anyway, this was not in Malawi, so we thought, has our impact indeed reached those levels? We were quite excited. We sent someone to the campus to inquire. We were not just excited that we should go to UNISA. And somebody went there and indeed met Professor Martha Malope there. And they confirmed. And the best part of it all is We didn't have to pay nothing. We were being honored. Why should we pay?
You did not pay. I thought there was a recruiter here in Malawi.
Not a recruiter.
Okay.
More like somebody who endorsed my name.
Okay.
She is an alumni of the same program.
Okay.
So she did not call me there. I got a call from there, not from her.
Okay.
Only when I got there, I also met her.
Okay.
When she was there as an alumni.
Okay.
So we got there and I got honored in front of thousands of people, not 2 people, not 3 people, not through the back door. We were in the great hall, not in some room.
Okay.
And when I graduated,
maybe yours is a different case. Can I say that?
probably, I don't know.
But the university issued a press statement,
Now,
including your name,
yes,
Pempero Mpande and Monsu Karim,
yes,
that they do not know you.
yes. I will tell you that UNISA is a very big institution, a high repute institution in the world, not just in South Africa or in Africa. But let me give you an example, if it might help. We had UNIMA. Let's talk about the Chancellor College.
Yeah.
If people had a program of honoring people at Chancellor College from 2012 to 2023, and they do this yearly, not after 5 years, they do it every year.
Yeah.
And they have honored more than thousands of people.
Yeah.
And most of the people that have been honored are South Africans. Why then, after Chancellor College discovers this is a scam, they would only want to shame 3 people, all from one country, just Malawians, and not shame everybody who's graduated through this program? Why would you do that? I think this is a criminal case. You cannot do that at Chancellor College since 2012 to 2023, and then you discover there's a scam going on. All you're interested in is publish names on Facebook. They were supposed to make arrests. Actually, we should have been arrested. Why not arrest me? Why are you so interested let's just shame him and we'll put it to bed? I think that's not.
So you are doubting the press release that came from the University of South Africa?
Well, do we know who manages their Facebook page?
I'm telling you, there was a press statement, not a Facebook post.
A press statement.
A press statement coming from the public relations office of the university saying they do not recognize you. That graduation did not take place.
I don't say that graduation did not take place. Say the graduation took place, but it was not legit. I'll agree with you. If you say it didn't take place, come on, it's all over online, man. I was there, I was in their great hall, right in their campus. Did I put that up together myself?
So you did not pay anyone?
I didn't pay
to get
no
that
one.
degree?
For me, even to get there,
Yeah.
my ticket was bought by FDH Bank because I showed them the letters, I showed them the emails, and I asked for their help, and they helped me fly there. So if you tell me to say, no, I bought it from who? Why will I buy an honorary degree?
Now,
Do you get employment? Can anybody employ you because you have an honorary degree?
Okay, so should I call you Dr. Namadingo, or should Malawians call you Dr. Namadingo because the university says they do not recognize you?
Well, the university has never called me Dr. Namadingo. It's people now who call me Dr. Namadingo. I don't get offended if somebody says Mr., Doctor. These are just earthly titles anyway. But the fun fact is, all my fans call me Doc, and the university can't stop them. I don't think so.
We can't stop them?
No, you cannot stop my fans to call me Doc.
Which Doc is this? The one from the University of South Africa?
No, you Doc, we are not via.
Doc another?
Anavaya. We can't stop him.
No.
No, actually, I would have loved that these 2 young men, because they equally suffer the shame that I've suffered through the hands of UNISA. After doing a great job, after I raised money for the Children's Cancer Ward, after I helped Mr. Kachigamba, after we helped fix ambulances, what did we get in return? We were shamed by South Africans. Not Malawians, but guess what? Malawians celebrated too much. Actually, we're very happy that we are shamed. Malawians were so happy. Didn't you see? On social media, everybody was so happy that these 3 Malawians have been shamed. They were so happy. I would have loved if I was honored by Chanko so that I'm not ashamed. I'm not shamed by UNISA. But well, there is the reality.
So my question is, should I call you Dr. Namadingo? Yes or no?
Brian, call me what you feel you should call me. But if the question is, do I feel that I was worthy of being a doc or being honored? Man, I've been honored by God. I've been honored by people. If UNISA say they take away their honor, they're not taking away nothing. What I did to get their attention or to get their attention, whether it's a scammer, but for them to get the attention of trying to honor me, there's something I did. And what did I do? I helped people.
Yeah.
That's all I did.
Let's move on. Would you sing?
Would I sing?
Yeah, would you sing or perform for a political rally?
No.
No?
Not at
We are swinging into a political season. What if Party X invite you to perform at their political rally?
I won't go there.
You won't go there?
No, as simple as that.
Why?
Why should I sing at a political rally? I mean, what is politics? Politics is anything, not anything. Actually, these are activities that have to do with governance. Governance is a serious issue. Now, when we're talking about campaign, it's about them selling themselves to their people or to the voters through their ideas, through their works that they have done.
Yeah.
Why would I want to go and add color to that? I don't want to add any color to you. It's your job. Sell yourself. You sell yourself for the voters to vote for you. This is not a contest about who can hire the best musician. I don't think I have to be part of that.
Even if they say we'll pay you handsomely.
Okay, now, Brian, if I don't agree with your ideas, your political ideas, ideologies, and you say you're going to pay me 100 million, and I come there and perform and excite the people there, actually others probably will vote for you because of me.
Yeah.
I should know that if you're the wrong man, then I am helping this country to head towards the wrong direction. So I don't want to be part of that. Anything to do with politics, let the politicians do that. Let them convince the people and not use me to make themselves look good or look organized. No, I wouldn't do that.
So we'll not see
Never.
Patience Namadingo on the political trail
Do you see me
or
hesitating?
campaign trail.
Do you see me hesitating giving you the answer no? No.
Akuti funso limene mundilole ndifunse nchichewa.
Please.
Akuti mumwa kwambiri kabanga. Ati mpaka topi. Mwafika pamene bana Namadingo?
Inu mnandiona kuti ndili topito.
Anthu akuona.
Kuti.
Akuona ni mahotelo mwa. Ndipo akuti simumwenanso mwakamba mumwena mahotelo. Ndipo ndifuna funso limene limuliyankhe nchichewa.
Okay.
Yeah. Ngati mungate amfumu.
Inetu mowa ndi mama.
Mumamwa?
Ine ndi mama mowa.
Okay.
Ndipo sindidziwa kuti kumwakonga kwa mowa ndi vuto la ndani limenelo.
Okay.
Kuti akupeza mavuto ndani.
Yeah.
Chifukwa choti ine ndi mama mowa. Komanso ine dzina langa lonse ndi Patience Benedicto Namadingo.
Yeah.
Benedict as the Pope Benedict.
Okay.
Kuteka kuti ineyo ndi mkatolika.
Oh.
Ndaye musakambe za mowa waini zisiyeni zimenezo. Zilibe vuto lililonse. Lero ndalama ndomwe nazo zanga. Pamalo ndomwe napo amagulitsa kabangayo. Sikuti ndabweretsapo ndine kabangayo.
Nanga si makolo ena amaona kuti this is a role model. Chitsanzo chabwino anangawa they look up to Patience Namadingo. Ndi ampeze Namadingo ja ali topi dzandi kukakwera Mercedes Benz.
Kwakwera cha?
Mercedes Benz.
Lero anawo rungaradzi dzamwa akadzakula ngati. Kulubina dzamwa kwakwera mu Mercedes Benz.
Omuyankha choncho ngani yo?
Ndio role model weno. Ngati mufuna mudzidzamwa.
Yes.
Musamwerero. Panganiza sukulu zanuzo.
Yeah.
Muzapeze ndalama zanu. Inetu sinimwera pakhomo pamayanga. Nanga uma topi uzikapanga uli pakhomo pamutu.
Okay.
Topi ngati ufuna udzipanga topi uzikakwera mbenzi yako. Ngati yangayo. Benzi yo uikachoka penepo ikakusiyeso kunyumba kwako. Ndio role model. Amene afuna kuti adzamwe mowa kutsogoloku zaka zake zikazafika zomwera mowa.
Yeah.
Chifolo pa mowa pachalo malemba kuti uungwa anthu akuluakulu. Kuti kwine ndi umwa mwana ndine wankulu sindine mwana. Ndemo kati role model ndimene mwakambira.
Okay. Fair answer.
Thank you.
How do you compose your music? Others have said you just walk into the studio, no script, nothing, and you just start singing. Is this true?
When you say others, who are others?
People that you have worked with. I've talked to artists, people that play your guitars, keyboards. They have told me that you just walk in and perform.
The only album that I wrote was my first album. That was written in 2007. Because ineso ndinkamva kuti nyimbo amalemba.
Yeah.
So I got a pen and a paper.
Yeah.
And started writing.
Yeah.
But along the way, I found my footsteps. And I discovered that no, if I go on the microphone, I've got my headsets. I should just know the topic of what I'm singing about.
Yeah.
If I know I'm singing about Ntendere, let me just sing.
Okay.
I should not sit down with a pen and a paper and start scribbling things. I think that's limitation. Because if I write the line, then it will guide me as that line.
Yeah.
But if I just sing, it's there in my head.
Yeah.
If I don't like it, I'll just revise and sing another thing.
Would you say you're celebrated more outside Malawi? I've seen videos coming from Mozambique. 50,000 fans there in one ground. I've seen pictures in America and in other parts of the world. Do you think Malawi celebrates you as they celebrate you outside there? And if not, why is that so?
In my opinion,
Yeah.
I honestly think I'm celebrated more back home. Well, I should not say back home. I should say here.
Okay.
Here in Malawi. This is where I've got a huge fan base. This is where I'm supported more. Because remember, before I stepped out there, I must have come from somewhere where I was heavily supported. Support is easy when you're at the top. It's very easy for people to say we're supporting you because you're already at the top.
Yeah.
But when you're down there, now that's real support. Because nobody knows you. So everybody's supporting you from the roots. Now that's huge support. So it doesn't matter that those were just two people. For example, my first album was recorded with resources that came from my mom.
Okay.
It was the only person who sponsored me then.
Yeah.
Nobody can boast of, oh no, we came to your show, we bought your CD, that's why you recorded your first album. It was my mother's money. Now that's huge support. Now, today, if I go to America and I meet a couple of people and they give me $10,000, say we're supporting you, does that mean that support is huge than the support my mom gave me? Because my mom only gave me about 30,000 kwacha.
Okay.
But that's the biggest support I'll ever get. So when you ask to say, am I supported here or am I celebrated more out there than here? I'm celebrated more here.
You seem to be losing your managers, Peter Mazunda and the last guy, what's his name?
James?
James, yeah. What's happening?
No, I'm not losing them. You see, managers are people that we hire.
Yeah.
The same way companies hire managers. Now, when a manager has done his job, he's reached his mark, he's either going to retire from the job, or he can get fired from the job, if it's a job.
Yeah.
So these people that have worked for me, it's not like they're sponsoring me. They're not sponsors. These are managers that are working. And it's my company. You know, I am my company.
Okay.
So if you become my manager, you must do what you've been employed to do.
Yeah.
And if you lose track, or if you are not bringing the value that I employed you to bring, I'll let you go. So I'm not losing. It's either somebody retired or they got fired.
They are young, upcoming musicians.
Yes.
Great composers. Driemo and others. Do you feel threatened?
Threatened?
Yes.
I don't think anybody.
They are pulling big numbers.
Then how does that become a threat to me? Remember, when somebody also lights their candle, it doesn't mean yours is going to go out.
Yeah.
So why should I be threatened because Driemo is pulling big numbers? That's a good thing for Driemo. And it's good for the entirety of the industry anyway. Let me tell you about Nigeria.
Yeah.
The first artist I knew from Nigeria was P Square. When we knew about P Square and we heard their sound, there was an army that came from Nigeria. Now we have Davido, we have Rema, we have Mr. Flavor. We have a lot of artists coming from Nigeria and they are pulling big numbers. But guess what has happened? They have conquered the whole of Africa and now they're in America, they're in Europe. And that's what will happen to Malawi too.
Yeah.
First, they knew about me in Zambia. Now they know there's Ellen Juchi. They know there's Driemo. That's how you conquer. You must go as an army. You cannot go as one man. So
it's an army.
It's an army.
Yeah.
We can't go out there as one man.
Okay.
Look here, I was in America. I'll be returning in June, actually.
Okay.
There's a festival there. It's called Madaraka Festival.
Yeah.
It's managed by Kenyans and Ugandans.
Yeah.
Huge audiences. Their previous headliner was Sauti Sol. Guess who's the next headliner? Me.
You're the next headliner?
I'm the next headliner. Now, guess what will happen? Because when I was there, I was pulling big moves like this. I'm not just there. I'm learning. How does this happen? How can I get into this crowd?
Yeah.
But guess what? My plan is to bring an army. So as I go there, I'm extending an olive branch to these people. You're telling me they're pulling big numbers here.
Okay.
If nobody knows them there, they will know them through me.
Okay.
If anybody knows some Malawian musician and that somebody is from somewhere and they don't know me, let them know me through that Malawian musician. That's what happens. So I'm going to tell you the truth. When I sit at a bar, I'm in New York sitting at a bar. I'll ask them, where are you playing this music from YouTube. I'll tell them, do you know Lulu? Who's that? Oh, this is a great music. Let me put the song. That's what I do.
Okay.
I'm not even trying to show off, but I do this all the time.
Yeah.
So for me, I understand that we are an army. We can fight internally. We can joke like, oh, we're competing. But the truth is, out there's bigger competition that we need to appear.
Oh, interesting to hear.
And we cannot go there as an individual.
Yeah.
We cannot. It can't happen.
We wish we had more time. Are you a married person?
We're back to that topic.
No, we are concluding. How people would want to know, because you just jumped there.
And when they know, what will happen to them?
They will make informed choices.
That they should not what?
I don't know. Would you describe yourself as a married man?
Very. 100 plus 50%.
Okay. Yes. That's all what I just wanted to know. I want you to look at that camera. After we have had this discussion tonight,
yes,
what would be your last thought?
My last thought?
Yeah.
Well, Brian, we've had, before I say the last thought, we've had quite a good conversation. It has taken me 5 years. I haven't had an interview in this country. I've never been at a radio talking to somebody or at a television station like we're doing.
Why did you say, yes, let's do it when we invited you to come to this show?
Well, there were a couple of things that I was putting on the scale.
Yeah.
And the first thing is, who is going to talk to me? You see, Brian, our heads are like computers. Yeah. We have a hard drive inside the head. And we should be careful what memory we put on it. So if you have 10 GB and you sit down with somebody and what you're talking about is nonsense, then they have consumed your 3 GB that you cannot delete, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
If we had a chance that you should delete something, people would have deleted so many nonsense that is in our heads.
Yeah.
So when you invited me and I looked at you, I said, Brian, like, I respect you, Brian. And I watch your interviews most times. Your political interviews.
Yeah.
I watch that and I love your art, your craft, how you do these things. And I also love how you dress. I love smart people anyway.
Thank you very much. Thank
yeah,
you.
So when I looked at that, you qualified. Sorry to say, but you qualified to interview me.
Tamo.
No, but I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
You actually overqualified. I was honored. I was like, wow, this is going to be nice. So yeah, I don't think Malawians will see me doing another interview anytime soon, unless I'm doing it with you anyway. But you have to book an appointment again, like you did. Anyway, back to.
But I want to say I'm profoundly honored with those sentiments that you have just.
Thank you so much.
Just said.
They
mean so much to me and our viewers.
Thank
Back
you
to
so much.
last thought.
Well, let me not say much. I mean, we've pretty much exhausted a lot of things that we wanted to talk about. But I would say, let me talk to my fellow Malawians, not just my fellow Malawians, especially those who are in the same age group as me. I will borrow words from JFK. A nation whose young men and women are in a constant state of slumber will not realize its potential. Let's not sleep. Good night.
Dr. Patience Namadingo, quite intriguing.
Thank you.
I must say, hearing you talk tonight.
Thank you.
As I said, I'm also profoundly honored.
Thank you.
Major interview in 5 years, and you decided to do it with Times Television.
Thank you.
Me hosting, it's a great honor and privilege. I wish you nothing but the best, and as you continue shining, may it be well with you.
Thank you.
Well, on that note, we conclude our discussion tonight. I was privileged to host Dr. Patience Namadingo, one of the Malawi's renowned and celebrated musician. My name is Brian Banda. From all of us here at Times headquarters in Blantyre, wishing you the very best of the evening. And from all of us here, it's goodbye.